Hey Reedy High School, we're going to get started with the next portion of the tutorial. So this is the hair tutorial. We're going to be doing a nice sleek updo. What you're going to need for this are bobby pins, about 2 hair ties close to your hair color. They don't need to be exact, but they might peek through a little bit, so get something close to your hair color. You're going to need a comb or something to part your hair with, and either gel or hairspray depending on your texture of your hair. Hairspray might be great for you, or if you have really curly hair you might need gel or just a really strong hold hairspray. So when you're shopping for your hair supplies, keep that in mind. So first you want to start out by picking a side to part your hair. Your director can decide if he wants it to be all the same or just your natural hair part, but not anything in the middle. It has to be off to the side. And since this is more of a classic look, you want to go for a nice part right here. You don't want anything too far over because then it's just going to give the hairstyle a whole different look. So go for something a little bit more neutral with the part. So I'm going to start out by taking about the front 2 inches of my hair and I'm going to part it, and I do a little swoop in there. If you can kind of see that, I pull it out and then I go down and around a little bit just to give it more of a natural swooping shape that we're about to do. So then I pull that hair forward. I'm pretty much going to take everything from behind my ear back. And you can either section this off with another hair tie or just leave it down, but we're going to be putting our hair into a really, really high ponytail. So I'm just going to go through, run my fingers through my hair and smooth it out. You want it nice, pulled back, very sleek. You don't have to straighten your hair like me, but you do want to try and keep your hair really smooth. Now I'm just going to go through with my comb. So this is my hair with the first ponytail in it. Go around and make sure you don't have any giant pieces of hair sticking up or any lumps or anything like that. And then you're going to go in with your second hair tie. And this is just to make sure that the hairstyle is really secure. No matter if you have really thin hair or really thick hair, just go ahead and do this for safety measures, because ponytail gets loose, it's really going to mess up the entire hairstyle. So you want to make sure it's nice and secure. And as you can see, I look like a Pomeranian now. It looks really, really funky, like a cheerleader ponytail, but we need it that high for the next few steps. So for this next step, you want to start by smoothing out this section of hair. If you have bangs, you're going to have to use hairspray or gel right off the bat, but I'm smoothing it out. I have my fingers just a few inches away from my ear. I'm holding down this piece, and then all I'm going to do is push this hair forward a little bit, and with the rest of this piece I'm going to swoop it upwards. You're going to have to kind of keep working with it to get that nice swooping motion, but make sure you have the hair pushed forward just a little bit so we have that nice S shape going on, or U shape. I'm not really sure what it is just yet. And then I'm going to secure this with bobby pins really close to the base of my ponytail. We'll be covering this up with some hair later on. And then later on we'll run some hairspray through that to keep it nice and smooth. But for now, we're going to be working with the hair in our ponytail. I'm zooming out just a little bit so you guys can really see the full picture of what's going on here. So I'm going to be taking this hair, I'm going to be curling it underneath. So if you have layers, it's going to take a little bit of practice to get this around. But you're basically just going to be rolling your hair in, and it doesn't have to be super perfect. But then you're going to want to stick it to one area of your head and then secure it with bobby pins. So going for this nice twisted little curly look. And I'm just using 2 bobby pins to secure it, so one on either side of these little pieces of the hair. And if you have any little crazy ones sticking out, like sometimes it just gets a little messed up, you can just stick it inside the little curl. And these pieces can be a little bit more fun and playful and messy. And then I'm going to pick up this next section of hair, and I'm going to actually twist it the other way. You want to alternate it a little bit just so it doesn't look so uniform or like a Cinnabon or anything like that. So I have some layers on this piece, so it's a little bit harder. The trick I have for it is twisting it like sideways and then pulling it in to twist it all together. In this piece, I'm just going to be sticking it right next to the last one we just did in a little bit of a different direction, and I'm going to bring this down a little bit lower just to give us a little bit more texture within the hairstyle. So as you can see, my first one sits up here, and then my second one sitting a little bit lower right here, and I'm going to secure this piece up here to my head more so it doesn't flop around. You want to make sure that any pieces that make you feel a little bit uncomfortable or weary about spinning with, that you just secure them down as best as you can so you don't feel it flopping around on your head, because of course you want your hair to be your last distraction on a show day. And after I pinned that piece down, it was a little bit flat to my head like this, so I'm just pulling those pieces apart a little bit. And you can use your hairspray to kind of give it a little bit more texture in that way. I'm going to wrap this one upwards as well. And this one, I still want to keep it pretty close to the center of my head, but I'm going to try and lay this one sideways. Also, depending on if you have thin or thick hair, you still want to have a lot of volume. So if you have thin hair, you want to do a lot of these little spirals, and if you have thick hair, you're going to try really hard to condense as much as you can so you don't look like you just have a bunch of hair flying around on your head. But I have a pretty thick hair, and I'm using pretty big chunks just so we make good use of our head space. This next piece I'm going to be using is a little bit thinner because I'm going to bring this down on top of this piece that we had swooped back before, because I want to do a little bit more of a curly loop with it. So this one I'm going to twist downwards. I'm going to be going from underneath to pin this one, and then I'll also come from the back as well. We just really want to show off that nice little spiral, and it also kind of covers and helps makes the swoop look a little bit more natural to the hairstyle. Next, I'm just going to finish off these back pieces by alternating the twists on them and really covering up the back of my head. I'm just going to go ahead and do these and kind of skip through it, and I'll show you the finished product at the end. So I pretty much have the hair done. Here's kind of what a side view of it looks like. You can even pull up a few pieces to give it a little bit more volume on top, but here's pretty much what we have going on so far. Now I'm just going to take a few bobby pins and pull back a few of these straight pieces to complete this look. The base of the head is where you want it to be a lot more sleek. Now I'm just going to take some of my hairspray to get rid of a lot of the flyaways that I have going on. Pretty much the base of the head and right here is where you want to fix the flyaways. All these curly pieces, I think that they're okay looking a little bit more messy. Here's the completed hairstyle. I really hope this tutorial was helpful to you guys. Of course, kind of take your own inspiration from this on the top piece. Everyone's hair is going to work a lot differently. You kind of just want to figure out what works best for you and your hair type. So yours might not look exactly like mine, but you want to go for a similar idea and concept and that nice classic look that we're really going for with this show. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this, and I wish you the best of luck.